going on YouTube? Trucking and Life here. One more time, guys. Guys and gals and gals and guys. Yeah. Alright guys, this video right here was a requested video. I ain't did this video in a while. Actually I did I think a couple years ago, probably like 4 years ago. I know it was some years ago I did a video about no building. I had some questions about it, so I decided to make a video about it. So this is about rear yard building, guys. Pretty much. Now I'm gonna try to break this down without confusing it, without butchering it. But the nuts and bolts of it is, when you bring a box back to a rail yard, it have to be built for the most part. Now I ain't finna go into some rail yards. You can take an empty EMHU to their rail yard without it being built. You know, some places you got like little yards you can do that. But for the most part, when you take in a box back to a rail yard, it has to have a reservation number, a booking number, will have to be built, or all of the above. 53-foot side is, let's say you get a load, you go out to a customer, you get a load, and you're bringing it back to a rail yard, right? It have to be built. That means either you, if you're the authority, if you're the carrier, you have to get the box built, go on the website and get stuff built. Figure I ain't finna go into that on here. Freight, the weight, destination, trailer number, box number, rather, seal number, etc., right? If you pick up a load from a customer and it ain't auto build, you have to manually, or somebody have to manually build that box. Otherwise, the rail yard gonna reject that box. If it's a load coming from a customer, or if it's an empty coming from a customer, some empties and some rail yards have to be built too. But not all rail yards gotta build empties. Some rail yards, not all of them, some rail yards require you to have billing for the box and a reservation number and or appointment for that box. So you can have a box, a load that's going to a certain rail yard, but if it have billing only, but it don't have the reservation number or no appointment number, they'll still refuse that box because it don't have both. Now all rail yards don't require this, but some rail yards do. So if you bringing a box back to a rail yard, you're gonna ask them, hey, do this box require a reservation number and a booking number, or a billing number, or appointment number, or etc., etc.? Because if they don't, you will be sending a driver assistance or bringing that box back somewhere else. And then sometimes also too, with that, sometimes the boxes that you bring to a certain rail yard, they have like certain blocks of time for like so many reservations to be in that time period. I call them the diva rail yards, man. I don't know. I know they're doing it for a reason, but it's inconvenient to us. So 20s and 40s. Now 53s are a little easier when it comes to billing, because you can take them back to a certain rail yard. You find out where the boxes go back to, which rail yard, take it back there. You get it billed to go back there. 20s and 40s. I'm gonna try to break this down best as possible. Let's say you get a load, right? The difference between 53s getting billed, bring it back to a rail yard, and the 2040s getting billed, bring it back to a rail yard is this. The 53-footer, once you bring it back to a rail yard, for the most part, most rails that I've been to, you drop the whole thing there. You drop the whole thing and you get out of there. AKA you skedaddle, right? Man, nice knowing you, 53 bucks. I'm out of here. Nice knowing you. Have a nice life, 53-footer. I'm out. The 20s and 40s, taint the case. So let's say you go out to a customer, you got a 20 or a 40-foot box, you get that boy loaded, hammering down, baby, hammering down. Again, you might have to ask, do I need a reservation number, booking number, appointment number, or billing? Do I need all of that, even with the 20s and 40s? Because some rail yards will not take your joint. Just ask the question to find out, right? And fun fact, before I go on to the next thing, fun fact, sometimes your box could say billing on the dispatch side, but on your side in the rail yard, it could say it's not billed. What I would do in a case like that, I will pull to the driver assist area. If they got an office, go in the office and say, hey man, could you run this number and see if billing status went through with it or not? If not, because the dispatcher could be busy, they got stuff going on, so a number may be off. Who knows? And they may tell you, oh, it is billed, and then rail yard saying it's not billed. So instead of just sitting in your truck Go inside the office, if they got an office, and ask them, hey, could you run this number and see if the billing is even pushed through with it? Has billing been submitted? That's something to remember. Ask if billing been submitted. That'll save you a lot of stress and headache and pain, man, let me tell you. So anyway, now back to the 20s and 40s. I'm looking at a 40 right there. And some 1020s, man. You can't get me today, 1020. I ain't gotta roll ya. I'm back. Now, 20s and 40s, guys. Now, when you get them built, and they going back to a rail yard, one difference is the box, this is for a loaded 20 and 40. The loaded box may go to this rail yard, and you gotta get a lift off. That means you gotta make sure when it's built and you bring it back to a rail yard, make sure that they pay for the lift, especially if it's a private chassis. Now, some 20s and 40s, you can drop the whole thing. Second thing, the box may go to this rail yard, but they may not take that chassis. So they gotta take that chassis to another rail yard. I know, you probably thinking, man, why all that movement? Why I can't drop the whole thing? Why I just can't get rid of the whole thing? You know what? I asked them guys the same thing, and they told me, get out of our yard, take your chassis with you. But I digress. Some reason, the way this stuff is set up, it ain't designed that way, you know what I'm saying? It ain't designed, it's very inconveniencing. That's why I say if you ever do 20s and 40s, make sure you get paid for all your moves, man, because there's a lot of moves dealing with them things. A lot of time spent dealing with them doggone 1020s on those 20s and 40s, baby. Anyway, I digress. Now with an empty 20 and 40, you gotta make sure you be mindful of this. All empty 20 and 40s, even though they build, they don't go to every yard. Ask them if it's an empty, so empty 20s and 40s now, hey, is this an empty? Is it built for this yard? And do it go back to this yard? I do need res number. I do need all that stuff, even if it don't need an axe. So you won't be tangled up sitting on the side of the road, waiting for stuff to get squared away because you're trying to get about that jam. And also too, even with the empties, you take a box back to this yard, that chassis may not go there. That chassis might have to go somewhere else. Even with an empty. So you think you'll get a box and just bring it back to the yard and just ride off to the sunset? You're dead wrong. That ain't the case, man. But if you guys have any questions about this, I thought I answered it. I might be missing some stuff. It's a lot to this, man. But either way it goes, that's the nuts and bolts of it. You know what I'm saying? To find out if your box is built or not. Make sure you double check if the box is built before you start heading back to any rail. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Short, sweet, straight to the point. It ain't long, drawn out. Alright, YouTube. Hope this video was helpful. Give you an understanding of what's going around here. I'll see you guys in the video. Peace.